Hi there, everybody. So I've got a new one for you. Of course, as per usual, I'm going to go through my own experience because that is the best way I can color in the picture. So grief. Grief is the way you feel about hopes, dreams, expectations that aren't met, but it's the way you feel also, just when a familiar pattern changes on you, right? And so a lot of people believe that just happens with death or maybe divorce or really big situations, but there are many different situations that can feel really big to us, many different types of losses, and sometimes they can even be what other people would call positive. So back in 2013, this is about 8 years ago, my kids were 8 and 4. Okay, they were young, and I had just quit nursing, like completely. No, thank you. I'm not going back. My back injury was really in the way anyway. It was hurting me so much. And I wanted to, my husband was totally on board with me staying home full time to be there with our children, raise our children. But there was so many factors going into it, right? And that was an earlier time in my husband's career. And so, supporting a family of 4 by himself in this town that we live in, which is pretty expensive, it wasn't easy. It was hard times. And my mindset for myself, my husband, the way we're set up, save your judgment. This is just the way that we're set up is he makes the money. And generally, the accounting of the home and the organizing of finances generally falls on me, and that's the role that we have and that we've set up in our home. So anyhow, I'm in the mindset and the communication of, well, we need to save money. We need to, we can't live in debt. That's part of my belief system that I was raised with. So we can't live in debt, and we got to pay down bills, and we've just got to get some money saved, and we've got to do these things. And this is my mindset in this time where there's a lot of change and pattern and familiar time. And then my husband went to work. And when he came home from work, he brought a car home. So I used to say, when I get to this job, I'm going to buy this car. This is my dream car. And I would just say this, and I like to be lighthearted and be goofy. And I thought I was being goofy, but there's one car that I just absolutely love. If you must know, it's a Dodge Challenger. For some reason, I love them. They're so pretty to me. They're like the perfect combination of old and new in me, okay? So he came home with a 2013 Dodge Challenger. Whew. Now, a lot of people would be excited and thankful and just jump right in and drive. Oh, heck no. I was filled with fear fast. I was filled with dread, hate, if I'm being honest. I was absolutely terrified. How are we going to afford this payment? How are we going to pay bills? This was not what I hoped at this time. I was hoping to pay bills. This is not what I expected for this time. I was hoping to pay down bills and save money. I was terrified. Kids need shoes every 6 months. They're either ruined or they've grown out of them. They need clothes. I was in a panic, and I was super upset and mad and hesitant. And anytime this car would come up, tax time or whatever, I would feel that hate again. I would just, or sometimes if there was something really tight in the budget that we had to stretch for, and I would, if we didn't have this car payment, and I would be so upset while the rest of the world is, oh my gosh, look at Rochelle in that car. Every second I've driven it, I love it. It just feels good. I love the way it feels and the way that it hugs the road, and I just love it. I love the sound. Okay. But I was simultaneously filled with hate and dread and fear and worry. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel heard. I didn't feel protected. This was a huge grieving event for us, and it went on for years. Until I found the grief recovery method, I truly did use my tools and actions on my relationship with my husband in that way, but also my relationship with this car. as much as I wanted to embrace it, I was also quite reckless. Oh, you person I barely know, you're going on a date? Did you need a fun car for your date? Oh, sure, you can drive it, no problem. I didn't feel also that I deserved it. I had so much emotion swirling for years in this time, and some people might even go into judgment. She's ungrateful. But they didn't take time to hear where my fears were, what my actual concerns were. And they were just as valid as my husband wanting to share something that he thought was great and wonderful, which now that I've done the grief work, let's be honest, I have a dang load of fun. It's one of my best friends out there, okay? We have a good time together. But it was a huge grieving experience. So I want you to really think through your life, even positive things. New jobs, new homes. I don't know if you win the lottery. I'm just going by a show there because I saw a show that said it could be very stressful for people and a grieving experience, but I don't actually know. But we know if you've purchased a home or you have to move, even if you're for you, moving up, it's still so scary and unsettling, and every familiar pattern you've ever known changes, and we've got to figure out, you got to wait for the dust to shake down and see how all the pieces are truly going to work together, and there can be fear and worry and grief in those moments. So I want you to look through moments that are even technically positive, especially by the world's standards. But did it feel fully positive for you? Were you in this conflicting battle between, I just want to be grateful and happy and excited, but it just hurts and I'm afraid and I don't like it? Well, that's grief. That battle that we have inside, and people don't teach us that we're actually allowed to feel both. So I want you to look through your life and decide, that realize that grief is not just the sad, heavy, stuff. It could be something that technically is sweet and looks fun and lovely on the outside. Okay, so I love you. I hope that opens up your awareness to possible grief experiences, and that you find that feeling that takes away your joy on the inside as worthy enough to stop by a grief recovery method specialist and learn the actions to help you settle your heart and settle that battle that goes on inside of you. I love you. You're important. Bye, everybody.